Jeremy Corbyn is battling calls for him to be slapped with a fine after the Labour leader was caught breaking the national coronavirus rules. Jeremy Corbyn will not be landed with a fine worth £200 despite being discovered to have broken the rule of 6. Both the former Labour leader and the Prime Minister's father, Stanley Johnson, were photographed recently flouting coronavirus restrictions. LBC host James O'Brien called for both to be slapped with fines as a message to the rest of the UK. Mr. O'Brien told listeners, "I don't know whether it would work legally, but morally and indeed in terms of messaging, it struck me as a brilliant idea to fine them both. It's not a life-changing fine, it's £100 I think, but it would send a message to everybody that nobody is exempt. I know what you're thinking, Barnard Castle, but that ship has sailed," he continued. "That appalling insult to every single human being in the United Kingdom, let alone the ones who have suffered bereavement and loss during this coronavirus crisis. But Dominic Cummings' contempt for you and yours is now just a matter of established historical fact. We can't change it. That is the contempt in which he holds you and me, and your mum and my mum. Park that, but maybe don't move on. There's nothing you can do about it," the LBC host added. "Where does your power lie? How do we do better moving forward? Well, let's take the latest high-profile transgressors and rule breakers. Rather happily, one of them used to lead the Labour Party. One of them fathered Boris Johnson. Let's slap them both round the face with a wet fish, and everybody else is going to be more fearful of wet fishes. Currently, first-time offenders will be fined £200 for failing to comply with the guidance. This can be as much as £10,000 for serious breaches of regulation." Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer did not call for his predecessor to be fined, but insisted that Mr. Corbyn should have obeyed the rules. A police spokesman said, "As a matter of course, the Metropolitan Police Service is not investigating COVID-related issues retrospectively. Where we become aware of a breach occurring, officers will seek to engage, explain and encourage people to follow the rules, only enforcing as a last resort. Where alleged breaches are brought to our attention after the event, officers will not have had the opportunity to engage, explain or encourage, and those involved will not have had the opportunity to respond positively to that process, as most people do. Therefore, it would not be appropriate or an effective use of resources in most circumstances to investigate or pursue enforcement. We encourage everyone to make themselves aware of, and to follow, the rules."